Last time I came to Japan, I didn't take a single photo. I was in deep uncertainty and I had just left my agency job and really didn't know what I was going to do with my future. And I was too scared to even try. But this time I'm on vacation with my boyfriend and I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use my vacation with my boyfriend as an opportunity to start launching my dream career as a travel and hospitality photographer. So my game plan is to go around and take as many photos as possible and challenge myself. And I'm going to bring you along on this journey and show you every one of my creative ideas, my thoughts, my concepting, and some of the shoots I do along the way. So this is it. Thank you. Travel Japan video. Also, originally I wanted to put on makeup, be cute. I got hand tattoos though. I'm excited about that. I wanted to be cute. Put on makeup. It's 95 degrees and it's about 100% humidity, so all the makeup slid off, so this is what we're working with today. Anyways, so this is my step one. I'm going to try to kind of do a landscape kind of street photography photo and challenge myself. I don't really know how to shoot landscapes, to be honest with you. I've never really been a big fan of landscapes, but what I have learned is that street photography is a lot more challenging than I originally thought, and I would imagine that landscape photography will be as well. So this is kind of the shot I have in mind. This is the Rainbow Bridge. This is a very iconic scene. This is the waterfront back in Japan. Tokyo is so interesting because there's this unique mix of modernity and ancient world. Trying to capture that both when you come to Japan is such a unique experience. So I'm going to go around and get some landscape photos and talk about my creative process. I think I want to try to capture the both for that and think of it as a destination. We're also by Haneda Airport, so maybe getting an airplane in there would be nice. Try to think about doing this as a destination to a backdrop for maybe a Singapore Airlines photo. I think would be really helpful. Shout out to Singapore Airlines. We flew there here and back. So anyways, okay, let's go. I feel like I came up with a successful image that kind of says Singapore Airlines Tokyo destination and a really pretty skyscape. So we're gonna go to Kyoto and I'm gonna take some stuff there. And then at some point I do want to go do some night photography. And I heard Shimbashi is a really cool place for that. So that's kind of what we're gonna do and hang out. And that's kind of the challenge. So my goal is to get a nice landscape image, a good thing for a Singapore airline website, and then also really to just feature my hand tattoos as much as humanly possible by holding this mic. We're in Kyoto. Well, how close are you to my face?
I don't know. Pretty close.
Pretty close. We're in Kyoto.
Why don't you mention that I'm not a camera person?
Yeah, so also I don't know how to film. I don't know how to do any really YouTube. So this is me figuring out how to film, how to be a YouTuber, and how to edit and do all that stuff.
I love it.
I don't know how to do landscape photography really well. So this is me challenging myself to do landscape photography because I think that's an important part of travel photography in general. So we're heading down to, I think it's the Togutsu Bridge. We're heading down there and I'm gonna try to challenge myself to shoot some landscapes and get better at that. We're figuring it out. Brian's the cameraman, and it's also not a tripod. I don't have a steady cam, so it's gonna be a little bump, 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 bump. I shot earlier, we went to the bamboo forest and I shot earlier there. That was a lot of fun filming there. I got a lot of cool shadows. So I tend to shot a lot of detail and things that I thought were comps. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and make them as comps and make them little campaign, little tourism ads, and then kind of use some AI to make a copywriter be a copywriter because I'm not a copywriter, and put it in there, and then I'm gonna post them on LinkedIn. I think is what I'm gonna try to do. First journey is using this vacation with my boyfriend, who I love, who's also been very grumpy because he's irritated it's hot.
Hey, straight shot. I'm videotaping this all for you. I'm working for free.
So I think we're gonna go down to the lake later because it's really, really pretty. This isn't a lake, this is a river. Wow. But I want to get a wider shot of this. See, my issue is that I know how to bracket and I know how to shoot, but I just feel like landscape photography requires such a specific vision. Because I feel like when I shoot it, I either tend to shoot details and get really detail oriented in the shot instead of doing wide sweep.
Just a side note, dragonflies here act kind of drunk. Be careful. You almost think they're gonna hit you, and then they don't. It's weird.
They're also absolutely huge. The beetles here are also, Brian, I think I've mentioned this in a previous video, Brian has a theory because of his Caribbean blood that mosquitoes and bugs like to attack him a little bit more because his blood is allegedly sweeter. This is not to be proven. But when you come here, they do get louder. And they're in the trees. Yeah. Say, if you ever come to Kyoto, stay at the Oakwood Hotel. It's got decent rates. Also, the nicest and friendliest staff. If you stayed here last year, they're the best. Just shout out to Oakwood.
Shinjinsen.
That's the name. Oakwood Hotel. I've got some landscapes. I definitely need to improve in that area. That's something I'm going to work on continuously. But I think we're going to leave Kyoto tomorrow and head to Tokyo. And I'm going to try to get some more street photography and just to capture more travel and cultural and tourism.
Somebody hit this.
I don't know. I'm honestly I'm tired and I'm a little disappointed in the way that these photos turned out. I think they're kind of whatever. I think this is something that I need to continually improve on and challenge myself to get better at because I kind of don't know what I'm doing. I've been shooting for like 7 years, but I'm not great at landscapes, and this is me figuring it out and hanging out and seeing if it makes any sense. Brian's so tired. Hand tattoos again. We're in Shinbashi, which I was told by abroad in Japan that this is a really great place to do night photography. I'm at sunset, so I'm going to walk around and get some shots. The idea for this challenge is street photography. This is something I'm really weak at. I don't have a lot of street photography in my portfolio, but I do know for hospitality, particularly travel photography, you need a lot of street photography. Like one of my goals and my aspirations is to be able to do a tourism campaign for a whole country. That's like one of my dreams. So I'm going to treat this as street photography that can be used as a really fantastic tourism images for Tokyo and Japan. So that's kind of the concept that I have for this. So I am very nervous to film in general because you get looks, and then also I'm just nervous to film in public, so it's awkward. So forgive me of my awkwardness and everything. So let's go. Train going by every 2 minutes, so this audio is going to be kind of crazy. So we're going to see if it makes sense, but I'm going to film B-roll. But this is really cool down here. ChatGPT and abroad in Japan were right. So I'm going to try to get a shot of this. This is like a really cool perspective to think about it in terms of like always shooting for room with copy, so that like designers or whatever marketing company, they can put room for copy and make into an advertising campaign. So I always try to think about that in general. That's how I shoot. Oh, wow, look at this. This is so crazy. That's how unreal that is. Japan is so unbelievably beautiful that you could scout endlessly. Like you would never, there's so many different shots. So I feel like if you come here and you do take photos, like don't stress yourself out about trying to get the right shot because everywhere is beautiful. You don't have to overstress it. Like this is insane, but I haven't gotten a lot of food or like people shooting. So there's a lot of open windows. I'm gonna try to get that today. This is cool. Oh, person walking in my frame. Walking in my frame. Please. Walk across. Oh, he's taking a photo too. No. Walk across. Now we're taking photos of each other. Walk across. I'll take it. That didn't happen. I was trying to get him to walk in my frame, but I think he actually took a photo of me while I was taking a photo of him. So maybe he's famous. Maybe one day you'll be watching this and then you'll see his photo and me, and then you'll see him in my photo. It'll be like, this is a very deep cut. But what is it, Tithe? Holly Black novels. There was a couple YA books from the 2000s in which Holly Black and her friend, they made these characters coexist and see each other in each other's books. Deep Cut, Tithe, and the fairy books. I'll type it in here for the YA girlies. I feel like I did a good job. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of culture and food, which I hadn't gotten on this trip, and I feel like I did a good job making those comp tourism images that I came up with. I'll show them on the screen. I feel like I was definitely successful in that creative conception. What I try to find is like specific moments that I think that would be helpful, that I could put like room for copy, and like, I don't know. My plan with these images, I gotta shoot the bike. Any type of bike or person on bike, I feel like you got to shoot it here. I feel like it tethers it to like a time and place and location. But anyways, the whole point of this, I feel like I've definitely been successful in the images I got. So my plan with all these images is to be able to take them and post them on LinkedIn and show you guys the experience and process of me getting those dream clients and using these images as a stepping stone in getting the dream career that I want in hospitality and travel photography. So I feel like I've done good so far. It's also very nervous to film, and I had fun. I had really a lot of fun getting these images, so hopefully it makes sense. Back from Japan, obviously it's been a little while because my nails have grown out, but I got a little more hand tattoos. I could not stop getting more of them. It's immediately once you get some, you just want a bunch of them. So as far as the landscape shot, it was a challenge for me. I really struggled with it, and I'm not really happy with the images. I obviously didn't plan it. I wanted to be on vacation, so I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. to go scout and find Mount Fuji. I think my favorite ended up being getting the detail shots of the bamboo. I think those are better comp ads. It's more of like tourism ad, which is kind of what I want to shoot anyway. In that sense, it was definitely more successful. I end up really loving the street photography. Particularly like street photography images in the past because sometimes I think they're a little redundant. It's kind of a weird thing where you're like watching these moments in other people's lives that are just happening and passing. It's kind of cool to see a snippet into somebody's life. And I think that is the cool thing about street photography or any type of capturing like that. That I really did enjoy the process and it was beautiful. That street was so beautiful to photograph at. It was by far one of my favorite places we went to. And I think the images actually were really successful. And then I do feel like I didn't get as many food images as I want to. I got some. They weren't particularly great. I didn't have time. I wanted to go and photograph sushi in Gyodon, but we ended up eating 7-Eleven every single day. Their sandwiches, I miss their egg sandals so much. But here's what I learned. It was really scary. Like going out, shooting in public, put myself out there here with you guys, going out and shooting in Japan where they not the biggest fan of foreigners, not the biggest fan of you taking photos, was a little intimidating. And doing photography that was outside of my comfort zone, that was very different from what I do. I felt very insecure because I'm used to staging and lighting things. And this was really just me and my camera. And that was a little more intimidating to me because I really got to be on point now. I've been shooting for a long time, but I haven't been shooting on my own without an agency. And that's nerve wracking, putting myself on a limb. And I want to share the journey with you guys. So I'm going to document my experience, the ups and downs of building my own hospitality business and building my dream photography business with you guys. And I'm going to share the pitfalls of what I learned and show you the trials and error so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I obviously will. If you're on a similar journey, hopefully this is your encouragement to do it because I'm doing it too. And it is scary to try something new and to go out on your own and run your own business and be entrepreneurial, but we can do it and we can do it together. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to start my photography freelance diaries soon. Also hand tattoos. Okay, bye.